What is up, Skyway strangers? I'll get to that in a bit.
Oh, okay.
It's a Minnesota thing.
The look of
Skyway.
puzzlement on my face.
The Skyway is a Minnesota thing that I actually really love.
Actually, I think I know what that is.
Yeah. What's up, strangers? Welcome to another episode of The Strange Sessions. As always, I am Kurt, and sitting across from me is the lovely Krista in her Strange Sessions cap.
Good morning.
Good morning. You sounded like a NPR.
Oh.
Yeah. I got to
Really
say that
soft-spoken.
I am super happy because today's the first day since last winter that I pulled my sweatshirt out of the closet.
Oh, I've been wearing sweatshirts
I
and sweaters
haven't,
for
but
a while.
I asked Alexa before I left my apartment because I had my usual flannel short sleeve shirt.
Oh,
and I said, what's the
no.
temperature, Alexa? And she said it was like 45.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sweatshirt
I love
weather.
it.
Yeah, and it's
I'm in
chilly out. You can
heaven.
see their breath.
Yes, I'm
So-
seeing some leaves
But then,
starting
like you
to
were
change.
saying, there's an 80-degree
Yeah,
day
what
coming.
the heck's up with that?
I don't know. I hate it.
One thing I can say is it will not be humid anymore.
No.
We might hit 80 again,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be humid. There was
No.
a couple, like last week or the week before, it was like 74, but it was so humid.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah,
I think those days are over.
I hope so because I'm done with that.
Yeah, I saw my breath when I was outside waiting
want
for
it
you.
to I want the moment between now and the first snow to last quite a while.
Me too.
You know.
We had a glorious fall last year. It
Yeah.
lasted a really long time.
I hope this
and
one does too.
It started really early this
Yep.
year, so
Yep.
I'm enjoying it.
If you don't want to listen to us
Wow.
blather on
Yeah.
about the weather,
Weather Corner with Kurt and Krista.
Do
Yeah,
your-
just
do
check
your
hit pause, check the show notes. We'll have the topic start time
and
posted.
a shout out to our one new stranger, and that is Robert Ardo. So
Welcome, Robert.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Or welcome to the strangers, I should say.
strangers, yeah.
We actually got a little bit of housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I'm going to throw out there, you and I were talking about this, with the end, not the end, but with the slowing down of the podcast.
The end of the official
The end of the official
Let's say
podcast
that.
coming in 2027 or whenever. Krista wants to be done with podcasts. You want your time to be free.
It's not even just about that. I think I'll talk about this more. You go
Okay,
on.
but I still want to do something, and I don't know what I want to do because I'm going to be getting up early and doing the research on the paranormal stuff that I think is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And people have suggested to do a book, but I don't know.
You could have a blog.
A blog, Dr. Joe, that is one of the hosts of the Felicity Was Here podcast that I love. Her and I talked, and we are going to do a Beverly Hills 90210 rewatch podcast because I have never seen it. All I know about it is that Shannon Doherty is on it and somebody falls down some stairs at some point. That's all I know.
I
And
kinda
she's
watched it.
She's obsessed with the show.
Okay.
So that's like the Gunslinger one that I'm listening to now, where it's one of the hosts' first time reading it and the other guy has read it like a dozen times. And it's neat when one person knows it and the
Yeah.
other person doesn't. So we talked about that, but I still want to do something and I have absolutely no idea what.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you guys have an idea of what you would like me to do, maybe go on tour with my podcasting underwear like Annabelle, where it's in this
Glass case,
that says
locked.
do not open,
Yeah.
and they can have like a spaghetti dinner with it.
Oh, fun.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
that's
do
insane.
that.
They are doing that, right?
Yeah. But I want to do something, but the thing is I have no idea what. So
Well, it's fun. It's kind of exciting, though.
yeah. So
The world is your oyster situation.
yeah, but I'm old. It would have been more, I would have loved, I was thinking about this the other day, to do to travel the country and to go to these haunted places and do like a blog, like a video blog like that.
Mm-hmm.
But A, I'm broke, and B, I'm old, so
You're
it's
not
like,
old.
so it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
because I could have seen you and I do that, if
we didn't have jobs.
if we didn't have jobs and had the means, so I want to do something, but I don't know what. So if you guys have any suggestions, put it in the strangers. Let me know what I should do.
I have thought about, and Jim has mentioned this multiple times, and I think he told you, recording all of the renovations we're doing on this house, because we're going to totally this house is amazing as it is.
I love this house. I
But,
really do.
Yeah, it has so much charm, but we're putting our own spin on it over time, and he thought it'd be cool, because I watch a lot of YouTube channels like that. But
I don't.
it would be, but I'm really into design, and
Yeah.
it would be something I think I'd record over a period of time and then just release it all.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like. I don't want to get back to a place.
Maybe you'll end up on HGTV.
Yeah. I don't want to be back in a place where I feel like I have to be at a certain place at a certain time and always release something on a certain day. Like that's what I'm looking forward to not being tied to anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, so, what I was gonna.
Yeah. So that was my thing. If you guys can think of something I could do that I would be good at besides shutting up, let me know. Let me know what it would be. Okay.
You could do like an armchair treasure hunt thing.
I thought about that. This popped into my head too. Like I'm obsessed with our little trivia contest we're doing, where it would be cool doing like a podcast like that.
That's just all trivia.
But it needs to be more than just that, you know? Maybe. So.
And how you have to have the
prizes
funds to provide
exactly.
prizes.
So I don't know.
But unless it were something that people sort of like the side sessions paid to be part of.
Yeah, but I don't think they would. I don't know.
Well,
that's not a bad idea.
Side sessions and they get nothing out of that.
That's not a bad idea.
But that would at least fund the prizes.
Yes. Yeah, where the prizes would 100% go out to whoever. That's something to think about. But go into what you wanted to talk about, because I'm very curious what people think about this.
Well, and the reason I'll get to that, because the reason
I just got Krista.
We haven't done that in a long time.
No, we haven't.
I was going through my YouTube subscriptions, and I came across ours, of course, and I was like, oh, I should look at it and just see, because I don't really pay attention to analytics anymore.
Yeah, I never really did.
And it's interesting because if you look at our listenership before we started video, we were hovering at like 200 to 300 per episode was very average for us. Sometimes we'd spike up. We had the one Lisanne Froome, and that was 5,000 listeners, or listens, I should say. And then when we went to video, we held pretty steady at 200 to 300, but we would spike up more often depending on the topic. And then since we stopped doing video, we are now lucky if we hit 100 views. Yeah. And it's crazy how things changed. Yeah. And I was finding myself actually feeling kind of sad about it. Yeah. Because I think we went through this period when we were, nobody can probably hear that. Something shut off across the room and it was really loud. We went through this period when we were starting the video where I think we had like hopes that we were going to turn this into something much bigger. Yeah. And so that was really exciting. And just to see how it's changed since then kind of makes me sad. But also, to me, it also is just a sign of, it's reinforcing of our plan. Because neither one of us was looking at views when we decided next season would be our last. Yeah. We just are going off of our feeling about it.
I only notice when I upload the videos or upload the episodes, how many people viewed the last one. You know, that's the only time that I look, but I could see that it's been declining, you know, and I don't look at it any other time except when I'm uploading an episode because it shows it. Yeah. You know.
And that did not drive our decision in any way, but it's interesting how it's coinciding with the fact that we are...
because you and I said at the beginning, we didn't care if only 10 people listen to this. As long as it was fun for us and all that stuff, we were going to keep doing it.
Yeah. And we've never been like, how do we get more views? Like or more listens or follow. We've never been that way. No. And so it's sad because it feels like the end of an era for us, but it's not. I'm not sad because I wish we had more views. Like to me, it just really helps. It helps solidify our decision to end it next season.
Yeah. Not end it, but slow it down.
We keep saying that. But so leading to what we were talking about, something that I was curious about is that I have gotten so much feedback over the years from people who are really into podcasts, who are like, your episodes are too long. Like I would never listen to an hour and a half episode. And when it was 2 hours, when every episode was 2 hours, they were like, I'll never listen to that. Yeah. And I'm the same way, which is interesting.
Like you and I talked about this before we started recording. I'm the exact opposite, where if there's a podcast that I'm interested in a topic and I look and it's under half an hour, I don't bother downloading it.
Funny.
And I don't know why. So I'm the exact opposite.
I know why for me. The only time I ever listen to a podcast is in my car. Yeah. And I don't like getting out of the car to go to work and then getting back in and being like, okay, now what were we talking about?
See, and I'm okay with that. That's how I do it because I only listen to them in my car too.
I only want one that will last the length of my one-way commute.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
So I wondered what would happen if we had more like mini mystery, bite size, half-hour to 45-minute episodes.
But then we talked about that we'd have to do away. It'd probably do away with the taste test. We'd probably have less banter. Mm-hmm. I think 45 minutes.
Which a lot of people skip over.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
But then a lot of people love it too. But
I would be curious what that split is.
Yes. So we're going to probably put a poll in the group and to see if you guys like the idea. Because like you said, we could get together and record
once a month
and have 2 episodes out of that, where it would be like a mini mystery, but instead of both of us doing one, it would just be one episode that would probably be 45 minutes max.
I don't want this to get anyone's hopes up. We're not saying that this is what we would do going into the future. Yep. I'm just really curious.
Yeah. We're still figuring this out too. We're still figuring out what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm just curious. Yeah. Because we're polar opposites. I won't listen to anything that's more than half hour, 45 minutes. And I won't listen to anything that's under half an hour. Because I feel like I'm always like, that's not enough time to really get into the meat of the... But then, you know, like, I love Astonishing Legends, but some of their episodes are like a 4-part, and each one's 2 hours long, you know? That's too much.
Yeah. But, so I'll probably put a poll in the group tomorrow or Monday to see... like who likes the idea of smaller, less than 30 to 45 minute episodes, and who would prefer longer hour plus episodes. So we'll figure that out. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're still figuring out what we're doing. We've been figuring out what we're doing since we started the podcast. We still haven't figured it out. So yeah,
we should get to our taste test.
Yes. So pick one out, or do you want me to pick one out?
There's only 2 in there now. Don't knock. Oh, jeez. Unless that's the same thing as what we had already.
This is a cookie-ish one.
Yeah. It might be the same thing. Maybe they gave us 2 of those, but I don't know. Oh, no, they're different.
Oh, no, but I love these. I haven't had this.
Let's do it. Biscoff.
Have you... they make a Biscoff. Sure I haven't. They make a Biscoff spread. That's like peanut butter, but it's made with Biscoff. It's so good. I love these, but I've never had the cream filled like an Oreo cookie. But these are literally like Biscoff. I think it's pronounced Biscoff. That's like literally one of my favorite cookies.
Ooh. Okay, I'm excited.
Oh my God, their spread, like the peanut butter spread that's made out of Biscoff, is so ungodly good.
Ooh.
I'm going to actually dunk mine in my coffee.
Ooh. Wow. I'm making the same noise over and over again. Ooh. Okay, let me take a picture.
Yep, I love these. I love Biscoff.
And it says Lotus on it. What's the significance of that?
I think that's the name of the company.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, it is. I got to give it a sniff test. Oh, it smells really good.
Biscoffs are so good.
Okay.
Ready?
Let's do it. Mm-hmm. That's so good.
I can't believe you've never had Biscoff cookies.
Where would I buy this, though?
Walmart, anywhere.
Really?
Yep.
I have never seen these. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. So like imagine a peanut butter type thing that's a spread that's made out of that. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
I'm trying to nail down what the flavors are.
It's just Biscoff flavored. That's all it is.
Like, is it cinnamon? Is it no?
Kind of cinnamony. Oh my God,
it reminds me of something, but I can't think of what it reminds me of.
This is another 10 out of 10 for me because I know that I love these. I've never had them with the cream in the inside like an Oreo cookie, but they're fabulous.
They remind me of something. Wow.
Oh my God.
The texture is so good too. Mm-hmm. Oh. Dang.
So, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That was a treat. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I even say 11 out of 10.
I think we gave everything out of this box a 10 out of 10 so far. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the next one's good too.
Yeah.
But what time are we looking at?
We're pretty much right on time.
Yo, bussin', no cap.
Oh, okay.
So should we jump into the topic?
Do I need a translator on my phone to tell me what you just said?
Or get a 10-year-old. Should we jump into
I
the
don't have
topic?
one of those. Yeah, let's jump into the topic.
So I was messaging with Logan, who didn't know that we were ending the show.
Sorry, Logan.
And I said, is there anything you want us to talk about? And she said she loved Strange States, Minnesota.
Okay.
And she sent a couple suggestions. So this is for you, Logan. We are doing Strange States, Minnesota.
We love you, Logan.
We love you, Logan. And I love you, Minnesota. Minnesota is one of my favorite states.
I've only been there a couple times, but it feels very much like Wisconsin.
I've said on the podcast, the only two big cities I've ever been in that I could happily live in are Boston and Minneapolis. Like, I love Minneapolis. So we ready here?
Ready.
Shoot, give me 1 second here. I think I changed.
Apparently, you're not ready.
No, I think I changed one of my trivia things. Not my trivia. Yeah, my trivia things. Yoink, yoink, Minnesota.
Yoink. Zoinks.
Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. So, Minnesota, have you been there?
Yes, a couple times.
You might want to go there after one of the things we're going to talk about in this episode.
Oh.
But...
Oh, the article you mentioned?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Because you were talking about, like, there's no Bigfoot, but there's an article you're going to read.
Okay. No, but you might want to go there, probably there too. But we're going to do our usual 5 fun facts about the land.
My favorite are like the weird laws.
The land of 10,000 lakes, which is actually one site I looked at said it's actually 11,000. Another site said it's actually 12,000. Another site said it's 14,000.
Okay.
So it's way more than 10,000 lakes, but it's
still
the
out
land
on
of
how many
10,000 lakes.
They have a lot of lakes.
I just love Minnesota. Like I said in the teaser, it's Wisconsin's bestie because it kind of is. So, fun fact number 5, Minnesota's state capital was originally named Pig's Eye. Present-day St. Paul was once a small village that went by the name of Pig's Eye. The name came from Pierre Pig's Eye Parent, one of the first settlers of the area, who was a French-Canadian whiskey trader. He was also known locally for making the best moonshine. So, their capital was almost Pig's Eye.
Pig's Eye.
Fun fact number 4, the world's biggest ball of twine made by one person sits in Darwin, Minnesota. Each August, Darwin holds a twine ball day to celebrate the 17,400-pound creation.
Jeez.
Weird Al also immortalized Darwin's twine ball in his 1989 song, quote, "the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota." That's not why I think you're going to want to go there. But it would be cool to see the biggest ball of twine.
Yeah, there's something about those goofy roadside attractions.
Yeah. Yep. Fun fact number 3, the Minneapolis Skyway system is the largest linked system of enclosed second-level bridges in the world, composed of over 10 miles of pathways connecting around 80 city blocks.
Second-level bridge.
Yeah.
So it's like a 2-story bridge?
No, it's like you've been in Manitowoc. You've been to Manitowoc, obviously.
A few times, yeah.
You know when you go by, oh my God, I was born there. Holy Family Hospital, and it has the walkway over the road.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That is what is downtown Minneapolis. All the buildings are connected by those. And we talked about Austin, I think, or Houston, where they have
maybe that's what
everything is connected by underground tunnels.
Okay.
This is like that, except it's skyways.
Skyways, okay.
The Replacements have an excellent song called Skyway. That's about, because they're from Minnesota, that's actually about the skyways.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. When I went there for the Mystery Science Theater Convention back in the day, we used those quite a bit. And it's cool that, because they're known for their winters there, so you can walk, like they said, 10 miles of pathways connecting 80 blocks.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot. Fun fact number 2, situated on the northern border between the United States and Canada, International Falls, Minnesota is often referred to as the, quote, icebox of the nation. Due to its geographical location, International Falls experiences a unique subarctic climate. I just love saying those words. I would love to live there. Winters are known for being long and bitterly cold, while summers are brief but pleasantly warm. The city embraces its chilly reputation and hosts the annual Icebox Days celebration, filled with activities like frozen turkey bowling, the locally invented smoosh races, where teams of 4 people race, all wearing a pair of shoes attached to a set of 2x4s, and moonlight skiing in Voyageurs National Park, and the infamous Freeze Your Gizzard Blizzard Run.
Oh.
So that is... I
love that they just embrace it.
I do. They're like, we're cold, deal with it.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun.
Let's have some fun, yeah.
And fun fact number 1, Krista always loves these.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got to go to this because I changed some stuff. Fun fact number 1. In the city of, in all of Minnesota, you cannot sleep in a cheese factory. In the city of Hibbing, sleeping naked is against the law unless you get a specific permit from the city council, and this is true even when you are by yourself in your own home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's enforcing this law?
I don't know. In Minnesota, it is illegal to bring your horse into a bar. It's illegal to dance with a bear. It's illegal to tie your elephant to a parking meter. And lastly, and most importantly, it is illegal to cross state lines with a duck on your head. So,
the way these things come into law just must be the best. I know. I need to know the backstories of all of these.
I want to know.
Where did the
was
elephant
somebody dancing
come
with
from?
a bear and got killed? It's
We had an elephant in Minnesota.
I don't know. But there you go. There are some fun Minnesota facts. There's so many. I love Minnesota. I've always
Well, Logan,
been.
if you're coming to Wisconsin, please don't come with a duck on your head, okay?
Yes, definitely. But I don't think they can bring back. No, they can't sell. What beer is it? There's a lot of people come from Minnesota just to get, oh my God, spotted cow.
Oh.
You can't have spotted cow in Minnesota.
Why?
You just can't sell it there. It's against the law. So I know a lot of people come across the border to get spotted cow beer
wild.
to bring it back to Minnesota.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
that's New Glarus, right?
I think you and I should go to Minnesota.
Okay.
Next season.
Sure.
It's
a pretty drive.
And I think Logan still lives there, and Adam and Sophie.
Oh, Adam and Sophie are there, yeah.
I think we should definitely go there.
Cool.
I've always loved Minnesota. It's not a long drive at all.
I mean, 6-7 hours, something like that.
But yeah, there are some fun facts about Minnesota.
Cool.
Jumping into cryptids.
Ooh.
Minnesota cryptids.
After the weird laws, the cryptids are my favorite.
Yeah, really?
What? Have we met?
I'm not as much into the cryptids as I am the
haunted
places,
okay.
I think. And we're also running into a lot of repeats for cryptids. There's one in here that I think we might have talked about in a different state.
Okay.
But number 6, we haven't. Number 6 is phantom kangaroos.
Oh.
From Power 96 Radio.
Elephants and kangaroos.
Yeah.
Okay.
From power96radio.com, the article says, quote, just in time for Halloween, let's look back at Minnesota's lost phantom kangaroo period. As far as conventional science is concerned, kangaroos of any and all varieties are endemic to the Australian continent. They're not found anywhere else in the world. But if some reports of the elusive phantom kangaroo are to be believed, the iconic marsupials can be found all over the world, including here in Minnesota, at least from 1957 to 1967 in Coon Rapids and Anoka. You're going to hear a lot about Anoka.
Okay.
Anoka. I think maybe it's Anoka. I probably should have looked.
Question.
I probably should have looked before I started talking about it. Entertain our listeners.
I feel like a lot of these weird animal sightings in places they shouldn't be are the result of zoos or escaped animals from some kind of display. You know what I'm saying?
So in Anoka, and we're going to hear more about Anoka. Now, this is not your normal kangaroo. These kangaroos suddenly appear and vanish, have abnormal strength and abilities, and are vicious, which kangaroos kind of are.
Yeah, I've seen some videos,
They look cute and cuddly, but they're vicious.
Yeah.
They are described to be 3.5 to 5.5 feet tall with glowing red eyes and ghostly characteristics. According to Ranker.com, the Coon Rapids kangaroos came as quickly as they disappeared, saying, quote, dozens of people reported encounters with the aggressive roo, dubbed, quote, Big Bunny, who rummaged through trash and supposedly killed a number of local pets. And then, just like that, the phantom kangaroo was gone. Most of the sightings of the kangaroos occurred around the woods that encompass Coon Rapids beginning in 1957, and the last official sighting happened a mile west of Highway 47 near the Anoka County Fairgrounds in 1967. It seems, though, that they are still appearing from time to time. In 2016, a Coon Rapids resident posted on Facebook, quote, between everything going on, we are now going crazy because we have a zoo in the backyard. We live in Coon Rapids in town, and we have coyotes, deer, raccoons, and now phantom kangaroos. Although the person who actually saw it Thought they were losing it, but Googled it, and sure enough, they have been spotted here in the past. FYI, no, I have not been drinking. LOL, I love my backyard. So that is number 6, phantom kangaroos.
Phantom kangaroo. Okay.
Number 5 for Krista, Bigfoot.
Yes.
But we're going to have a whole episode about Bigfoot stories coming up, I think. I'm trying to find like the coolest ones.
Cool.
Not just, I heard something knock on a tree.
Yeah.
But this comes from the 2024 article on CBS News. It says, quote, just under 400 people live in the town of Remmer, and one resident in particular is considered a celebrity. If Mark Ruyak says, quote, in our area, if you walk anywhere off road up here, the woods are deep and dark. If you walk 100
are they
yards,
lovely, dark and deep?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. If you walk 100 yards, you can't see back to where your car is. Ooh. The town of Remmer is surrounded by hundreds of acres of woods and marshes, a perfect place for squirrels, deer, bears, and even maybe Bigfoot. Ruyak says, quote, this town was founded in the early 1900s, and there were Bigfoot sightings all the way back to then. In 2009, a trail camera near Remmer captured what looked like a real-life Sasquatch. Fake or not, it gave lifelong resident Ruak an idea. He says, quote, I trademarked the town as the home of Bigfoot, and we began to take away the stigma. About half the town loved the idea, the other half thought it was a little hairy. But in 2016, Remmer's first ever Bigfoot Days festival drew thousands of people. After that, Bigfoot could be found everywhere. Bigfoot cutouts are on nearly every street corner. There's a gas station called Bigfoot Gas and Gifts, and other businesses have now.
I need to go.
Yes, that's one of the 2 places you're going to want to visit. And any other businesses and other businesses have definitely embraced the beast. Even the Woodsman Cafe sells Bigfoot burgers and Bigfoot hash browns. Ruak says, quote, trust me, the Bigfoot hash browns, Bigfoot would be satisfied with them. It's a big meal. But he really has his footprint on Bigfoot Days. That's when they have the Bigfoot Olympics, the Bigfoot barbecue, and perhaps the most important event, storytelling time. Hundreds of people have an open mic to talk about their Bigfoot stories. You would love that.
Heck yeah.
He says, quote, we've had 70 to 80-year-old people who have never told their story in their whole life stand up and start crying when they tell this story that happened to them when they were 13 years old and scared them to death. The sightings, the folklore, and even the mystique around town have also drawn prominent Bigfoot research teams to Remmer. Abe Del Rio says, quote, I was just talking with a gentleman prior to you guys coming up who was telling me about his sighting last year. 24 years ago, Abe founded the Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team. He enjoys studying primates and was inspired by the famous 1967 Patterson footage captured in California. He says, quote, we bring our equipment, night vision, thermal imaging, long-range hearing devices. We go out there and use every technique to try to gain communication with these creatures. Remmer has everything that a Bigfoot requires, food, shelter, and habitat. It's the perfect location. Abe says there are about 5 to 6 alleged sightings a year near the town, which is why he keeps coming back, although he's yet to see one up close. Ruak is more skeptical and not entirely a believer, but he loves what the legend is doing for his town. Guest books show people coming from all across the world to investigate. Real or not, Bigfoot is putting the town of Remmer on the map. Ruak says, quote, if you are at all around the world interested in Bigfoot, there's one place to come, and it's here in Remmer, Minnesota. Bigfoot Days is July 5th and 6th in Remmer. During this year's celebration, the town will be putting up a 25-foot tall Bigfoot statue on the edge of town. So
I love it.
I figured you would love to go there.
Heck yeah.
I want to try the Bigfoot hash browns. I love hash browns.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know, I will say, I know that the Pacific Northwest is like synonymous with Bigfoot.
But Minnesota has a surprising amount of Bigfoot sightings.
Not only that, but like places like Minnesota, yes, it's still on.
Thank you.
Places like Minnesota and Wisconsin where we have lush, vast forests.
Like the northern Wisconsin
and tons of water sources. Like we don't have 10,000 lakes. We have a lot of lakes in Wisconsin. Yeah. Like we have habitat that could actually absolutely support a Bigfoot and could go months without anyone seeing because we have such vast forests here. And same with Minnesota. So I find it totally believable that there would be big feats there.
Big feats. Cryptid number 4, the Minnesota Iceman. This comes from wideopenspaces.com from 2021. It says, quote, "Everyone loves a good Bigfoot story. Strange tales of wild, hairy, man-like creatures that could be a new species of primate unknown to science have fascinated humans for hundreds of years. There's just one problem. There is no real concrete proof of this alleged missing link of human evolution. Or is there? Back in the 1960s and 70s, there was a traveling sideshow exhibit of a mysterious hominid that seemed to argue otherwise. It is a very strange tale, one that remains ingrained in American pop culture to this day. This is the story of the frozen creature that came to be known as the Minnesota Iceman. For those unfamiliar with the Iceman, it is the body of a large, hairy, man-like creature completely encased in a block of ice. According to Scientific America...
Doesn't it just sound like Bigfoot?
According to Scientific America, the Iceman first came to the public eye in 1968 when someone alerted two prominent cryptozoologists, Ivan T. Sanderson and Bernard Hovelmans, to the strange exhibit that was making the round at local malls, state fairs, and carnivals across America. Some people compared the thing in the ice to a Neanderthal. Indeed, many of the advertisements for the exhibit labeled it as the elusive missing link. The first photos of the beast do not show a ton of detail, but Sanderson and Bernard were granted a chance to examine it closely. The two scientists said the ape-like creature was male, 5 feet, 9 inches tall, and that his head had a brow ridge and an upturned nose. His feet were also quite large, making some wonder if this was the mysterious Bigfoot everyone was so excited about. Another notable feature was the hands, which were large and distinctly human-like with 5 long digits each. The exhibit was said to be somewhat gruesome in nature, though, because the beast was allegedly missing both eyes. One of the eyeballs allegedly hung from the socket.
Yeah.
According to Sanderson and Heuvelmans, it was the direct result of a gunshot wound to the back of the beast's head. The interesting thing is that both scientists believe the creature they examined was real. They even published scientific papers on it. Perhaps part of their conclusion comes from the fact that at one point they got a whiff of the body when the case cracked and it had the distinct odor of rotting flesh. Ew. However, it should be definitely noted that other experts are not quite as convinced. The Smithsonian Institution's primatologist John Napier also examined the body and concluded it was a hoax. He said the body was nothing more than a well-crafted latex model. Unbelievably or believably, the beast promoter had an explanation for that, which we'll dive into later. The man who was carting this frozen carcass all over the country was a fellow by the name of Frank Hansen. There is not a lot of information out there about Hansen as a person. We know he was an Air Force pilot. But in most accounts, he is described simply as an exhibitor and a showman. So we cannot draw much more on his character from that. What we do know, though, is that his story of the Iceman's origins changed several times, each one seemingly more fantastic than the last.
When stories change, that's not a good sign.
The first story he told was that some Russian hunters had pulled the ice block and body out of the ocean while hunting seals near Siberia. If that sounds to you like the plot of a Scooby-Doo cartoon, you're not alone. He later told a slightly different version of this tale, but instead of Russians, it was Japanese whalers finding it.
Oh, geez. Okay.
He also claimed that the body had origins in Hong Kong, where it was found in an undisclosed facility. Another popular origin story is that the creature was shot in Vietnam. Some variants of the story even claimed that it was U.S. troops who killed it while patrolling the jungles and rice fields. The kicker of the story is that the body was allegedly smuggled back into the U.S. by hiding it in a body bag. How Hansen came into the possession of the body in any of those circumstances is anyone's guess. The one origin story we have the most detail on is Hansen's allegations that he actually killed the beast himself right here in the USA while deer hunting near Duluth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his story keeps changing.
And wildly changing.
Yeah.
Not just minor details.
Yep. Even stranger than his origin stories for the beast are his claim that he did not own the body. At one point, he claimed that the body actually belonged to a Hollywood big shot in the movie industry, and somehow this turned into the rumor that the mystery owner was screen legend Jimmy Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah. As we already mentioned, while Sanderson and Heuvelmans were convinced, many others in zoology were not. Remember how we mentioned John Napier thought the beast was nothing more than a latex rubber dummy? Apparently, Hansen did not deny this, but he had an explanation too. He claimed that there were several copies of the body made for display purposes only. His reasoning for this? Well, he said the body was extremely human-like, and questions began to arise on if killing the beast constituted murder. In fact, at one point, Hansen tried to take his exhibit to Canada and was held up at customs due to concerns about the body being human. Hansen also claimed the FBI was interested in investigating the case because of that same possibility. Some skeptics pointed out that the body's appearance seemed to change over time. Believers have explained that away by stating that Hansen thawed and refroze the body many times for inspection, causing its position and appearance to change. Others simply see this as proof that the alleged bodies in circulation were hoaxes. One thing we can say for certain, it does not seem that the body was subjected to many scientific examinations and tests beyond the ones done by Sanderson, Hoovelman, and others shortly after the body came to prominence. If you're up on your Bigfoot lore, you already know that 1968 was during the prime time for a sort of Bigfoot mania that was engulfing the country. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin had made headlines worldwide the year before with their famous footage. So the fact that an alleged body starts making the sideshow rounds 1 year later could potentially be viewed as suspicious.
You think?
We should also mention that there are a few unconfirmed rumors circulating on the internet that Hansen found and commissioned an artist with Disney to create the body, which would explain its realistic appearance. At one point, Hansen quit touring with the body and it completely disappeared from the public eye for decades after that. It left many cryptozoology enthusiasts with a new mystery. Where is the Iceman? Hansen is believed to have died sometime around 2004, but even then, nobody seems to know where the monster's body was all that time. Then, nearly after a decade of no news on the body, the alleged original body suddenly popped up on eBay in February of 2013 with a list price of $20,000.
Goodness.
The listing claimed that the body was a hoax and that the body being offered was the original one that Frank Hansen dragged to sideshows back in the 60s. The listing can still be viewed via the web archive. The photo does look just like the original photos of the body. Add a little ice to obscure the features and it might be convincing.
Did it ever sell?
We don't know how much it sold for, but the buyer of the Iceman was Steve Bestie, the owner of the Museum of the Weird in Austin, Texas. You guessed it, he ended up making it a permanent exhibit there. According to the museum's website, it is filled with the types of sideshow curiosities popularized by showmen like P.T. Barnum. The Minnesota Iceman now makes its home next to freak animal taxidermy, wax figures, mummies, and other oddities. It seems like a fitting place for it to end up. We may never know the full story behind the Minnesota Iceman, but at least now everyone can see him when they visit Austin.
Okay.
So that is the story. It's 100% a hoax.
Oh, yeah.
100% a hoax. But it keeps showing, like, I think their hockey, like some team is named the Iceman because of that.
Okay.
Number 3.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Yep. Number 3, we talked about this, I think, before, the Dogman. But Michigan also supposedly has a Dogman.
I think the Dogman is in a lot of states.
Yep.
Allegedly.
In one of the early months of 2019, a man reported seeing a Dogman near Fergus Falls in Otter Tail County. Here's how he described the encounter. I'll start off by saying that I've never believed in any of these sort of creatures, but I saw something in early 2009 that really disturbed me and is making me change my mind. I was not under the influence of any drugs, and I have better than average eyesight, and the lighting was nearing sunset, but I was still able to see clearly. I live in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, which is in west central Minnesota, about an hour's drive from Fargo, North Dakota, where everybody says our accents sound similar to Fargo. My mother-in-law lives out in the country, about 3 to 4 miles out of Fergus Falls, and I was staying there while my wife and her mother went shopping in town. They called me and asked if I wanted to go to a 7 p.m. movie, so I left the house around 6:30 or 6:45 p.m. to meet them at the theater. About 2 miles from their house on a county road known as the Wendell Road along the Mistinka River, I saw 3 white-tailed deer. 2 of the deer were rather small, probably just yearlings, and a larger doe, who I assumed was their mother. Me, being an avid hunter, lover of wildlife, and future wildlife biologist, stopped to check out the deer. I should also mention that I hunt in the area and have spent my whole life in the Fergus Falls area. The deer were following a small creek bed, which is in fact the Mistinka River, so there were hardly any trees except for one. Maybe I didn't see it there because of the tree, but I noticed something crouching behind the tree on my side of the road, looking at the deer, and to my disbelief, hunting them. It just sat there looking at the deer, taking no notice of me, even though I was in my truck no more than 40 yards away, with a clear view with nothing obstructing my view of it. It had one, quote, hand on the tree that it was bracing itself with. I hear that a lot in these stories, that creatures have like one hand on a tree, like they're holding it, and that comes up a lot, and I don't know what that means.
It feels very human-like.
Yeah. It had one hand on the tree it was bracing itself with. What struck me as shocking was the fact that it seemed to be a 2-legged creature and not a 4-legged one. Its hands appeared to have opposable thumbs and were rather slender and long, very unlike a wolf.
How far were they? 40 yards?
Yeah.
How far is that?
I'm not sure. I'm bad with that stuff.
I'm going to Google it.
The creature looked as though if it stood upright, it would be over 7 feet tall with a protruding muzzle, broad shoulders, a slender waist, thick muscular thighs. And being as there was snow on the ground, I couldn't see the feet.
That's 120 feet. Seems kind of far to be able to see these kind of details, but okay.
After several seconds of looking at the creature in shock, the deer ran off. Then something amazing happened. The creature turned and looked right at me, as though blaming me for losing his meal. He just sat there staring at me and blinking, but not moving. This scared the crap out of me, so I hit the gas pedal and drove off. It was very dark after the movie. I didn't feel like trudging through the 3.5 feet of snow with the possibility of a monster lurking in the area who was currently looking for a meal that I might have scared off. So at about 10 a.m., I went back there and walked down to the tree. Under the tree, there was no snow, so there were no tracks that I could see. But leading up to the tree, there were 3 tracks leading in from my grandmother-in-law's field, which was hard black dirt. And if you know what Minnesota fields look like in late winter or early spring, you can't make anything out of the dirt. The tracks I did find were about 6 to 7 inches in length, but were clearly canine prints with the exception of 4 toe-looking marks in the snow. So this is another common one that you see in Minnesota is the dogman.
Okay. I didn't know dogman was a thing in Minnesota.
Yeah. I think Michigan is more famous for having the dogman, but Minnesota does too. Cryptid number 2, the hairy man of Vergas Trail.
Okay. Lots of hairy men there.
That's a lot of hairy men in Minnesota. Vergas is a small town in Ottertail County, which is where the last one was, in west central Minnesota. Just over 300 people live in the town that is also home to the world's largest loon, which is actually a 20-foot high sculpture.
Wow.
But Vergas is also home to the maximum maintenance roads of Vergas Trails and the hairy man legend. For the past 6 decades, this urban legend has been floating around the area. The hairy man of Vergas Trail has been described as being 8 feet tall, having long and straggly hair, a musty smell, and is always barefoot. He was also often blamed for deaths of animals around the area. I wonder if the dogman person actually saw the hairy man. You never know.
Yeah.
Some people and families in the area say it was a legend, while others claim it's an old hermit who lived in the woods and wasn't keen on kids wandering his land. The most infamous encounter with the hairy man came from a man named Ken Zitzow. Zitzow returned from driving in the woods one night with dents in his car and claimed it was from the hairy man jumping in front of the vehicle and pounding his fists on the car. Another encounter came from Cheryl Hansen, who claimed to have seen the hairy man as a kid. She says, quote, "We were snowmobiling around and around this old cabin we found, and all of a sudden a beast-like creature popped out of the cabin holding a huge stick. It had very broad shoulders, and I was trying to rationalize what it was, but what really stood out to me is that it was barefoot in the snow." She says she doesn't know what she saw that day, but whatever it wasn't human. There was once a human-like skull discovered on the trail by a private citizen. It was found in the area known as the Klondike or the Old Vergas Trails, where most of the hairy man sightings occurred. They never turned it over to the authorities, though, so no one knows if it was a man, animal, or some sort of combination. Sci-Fi's Haunted Highways featured this urban legend on a 2012 episode, but at the end of the show, they didn't have enough evidence to claim if the hairy man was real or not. And cryptid number 1, the Lake Pepin monster, or Peppy.
Peppy.
I love Peppy. From the cryptid From the cryptid Wikipedia and visitlakecity.org websites, it says, quote, "The U.S. might have its very own Loch Ness monster. This monster is called Peppy after Lake Pepin, which forms the border between Minnesota and Wisconsin, where it is said to live. The legend of Peppy dates back to the Native American mound builders that lived all along the Mississippi from the Gulf of Mexico to the river's source in Minnesota, according to Chad Lewis, who's going to be at the Manitowoc Public Library, I think, next month, author of the recent book, Peppy, the Lake Monster of the Mississippi River. Lewis, a Wisconsin native, is the author of 17 other books. See, like, I could write books like that.
Heck yeah. And do like talks?
Yeah, 17 other books about the weird and unexplained, and said he became interested in Peppy while researching other lakes and streams in his home state. What made Peppy unique from other monster stories is the $50,000 reward on its head. Oh, don't go hunting Peppy.
Rude.
Businessman Larry Nielsen offered the reward for conclusive proof of Peppy's existence in 2008 as a ploy to garner tourism to the Lake City area, according to Lewis. The reward remains on the table. Quotes from Chad Lewis and Noah Voss, authors of Pepe, the Lake Monster of the Mississippi River, says, quote, the early Native Americans warned of a deadly beast inhabiting the waters of Lake Pepin along the Mississippi River. For the past 150 years, the legend of the beast, dubbed Pepe, has grown to epic proportions. A lake monster was seen swimming on the lake on April 28, 1871, according to the Minnesota Historical Society's Book of Days Almanac. Legend has it that the Dakota, who lived along the scenic wide stretch of the river, beached their birch bark canoes for thicker dugout canoes while traveling on Lake Pepin. The reason? There were large creatures lurking out there in the lake that had easily punctured the thinner birch canoes. Though the main focus of his book is Lake Pepin sightings of Pepe, Lewis says that his research took him along the Mississippi as well. In 1876, among a slew of other Pepe sightings, the Anita Tribune reported one near Muscatine. The report is brief, reading only, quote, another river monster has been seen in the Mississippi River near Muscatine by 2 fishermen. This is certainly a case of snakes in its worst form. Mm-hmm. Lewis's book delves into some theories about what Pepe might be. Is it a hoax, a misidentification of waves, just submerged logs, a sturgeon, or something else? Lewis and a lot of people think lake monsters are sturgeon.
Sturgeon?
Yeah,
they are
sturgeon
huge.
Are huge fish. Yeah.
They're very prehistoric
yes.
looking. Because they are prehistoric.
Yep. Lewis and his co-author Noah chronicled their expeditions on the Mississippi in search of Pepe, where they used underwater cameras, sonar, fishing equipment, and other techniques, even using themselves as bait. I don't know if I would do that.
Nah.
Lewis's book explores the historical accounts of Pepe as well as other modern accounts, some as recent as 2010. Since the book's release in June, Lewis said that he's been hearing about even more sightings than his research has dug up, and he's anticipating hearing more. He says, if people have a story, I would love to hear it. He believes that the book is just his start for his research into Pepe. With further research into even more newspapers and other sources combined with the feedback from readers, he expressed confidence in having enough information for another book in the future. But until then, he says, quote, we leave it up to the reader to make up their own mind on whether or not the creature is real. I'm so on the fence about lake monsters.
Mm-hmm, I know.
You know,
I think it's so easy to misidentify other stuff.
And these days, it's so easy to hoax stuff.
Yes. And AI.
Yeah,
like you were talking about AI before.
You're not a fan of that.
No,
grok.
It creeps me out.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
fun to play with.
The one of me and Corey as kids freaked me out because it looks really realistic. Where Corey and I are in the bed, but it's got that weird chuckling sound in the background, and it's really sinister.
Yeah,
and there's something really sinister about any video you make on there, and I don't know if it's an uncanny valley thing where.
I think so.
You know, where it's like, that didn't really happen, but it looks so realistic. But then it goes off in this weird tangent, like I'm spitting fire and there's demons running around.
Quote unquote fun ones.
Yeah.
They're funny. Yeah, we showed Jim that and he was absolutely flabbergasted that it made him do something he didn't do.
Yeah.
And he said how it actually really disturbed him. He said, how can we ever trust anything we see then? And I'm like, yeah, that's like absolutely you and I were talking,
true.
Like when we were up there, just crappy AI.
Yeah, when we were up there, we were talking about that Will Smith video that just came out that people are realizing that the crowd is AI because the faces look melted sometimes, and it's not. People have 6 fingers, and it's just.
But really good AI is scary.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've seen some examples of something that you could tell me were real people.
Yeah. Like, they just have on the news that one woman, I don't know if it was around here, but there's a soap opera star that she really likes. And he sent a video of him in the car talking to her, and it's not him, but it sounds like him.
It's wild.
He's using her name. So we're to the point now where we cannot trust anything, especially paranormal footage.
Yes.
Absolutely. So and speaking of that, we're going to be going into the ghost segment of the episode. What time are we looking at?
We're just under an hour.
Oh, we're doing good. So what do you think of the cryptids?
I always love the cryptids. There's always like a cute one.
Like
to me, Pepe is the cute one.
Oh, I think the phantom kangaroo is cute.
I think it's the name that gives me, I don't know. The phantom kangaroo sounds kind of mean.
Yeah, but kangaroos are cute.
Yeah, they're cute, but they can actually. I've seen a video of like a kangaroo with a dog in a chokehold, and the owner's wrestling the dog away, like he's about to drown a dog.
Like a kangaroo will beat you down.
No,
like bad.
And that kangaroo looked like it was on steroids. Like,
ready for ghosts?
I'm ready for ghosts.
Do I have 7 of them? 7 haunted
places?
They
generally can't put you in a chokehold.
No, I think I have 7. Yeah, or I labeled them wrong. Whatever. At this point in the podcast, who cares?
My coach, this is funny, I don't know why I came up with this, but my coach at work,
I'm going to take my pill while you're talking.
Okay. his name is Eric. One of his kids, I forgot what they were. Oh, they were watching, I've never seen it. It's, I guess, Eddie Murphy Haunted House or Haunted Mansion or whatever. I've actually never seen that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And one of the kids asked a question. He's like, I need to ask Krista this. And they're like, how come if you can put stuff through a ghost or a ghost can walk through walls, how come they can sit in a chair? And I was like, that's actually a really good question.
That is actually a really good question.
And somebody else was like, how do you not know the answer to that? And I'm like, because nobody would know the answer to that. No. Like, we would just be guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is an interesting. Ghosts can walk through walls, but they can open doors. Like, I can't explain it myself.
I can't either, but it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just read something where somebody explained why they're all in like Victorian era attire, and I don't remember.
Why aren't they wearing 1990s
parachute pants? And speaking of which, number 7 is the First Avenue Ghost. This comes from the article from the websites AmericanGhostWalks.com from an article called "The Haunted Spirits of First Avenue," and comes from an article on Ghostlandia.com called, quote, "Disco Dancing Spirits at the First Avenue Nightclub in Minneapolis."
Sounds
and
fun.
Here's the thing. Like, if you're a ghost and you're disco dancing, it's either going to be really creepy or just funny.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
There's no in between.
No. So this comes from both of those articles. The building that would eventually house First Avenue, and this is like a concert venue, a nightclub kind of thing, like a lot of concerts, it became, I'll get to that in 1 second, I'll occur to myself. It started life as a Greyhound bus depot in the mid-1930s. Upon the bus depot's closing in the late 1960s, enterprising Alan Fingerhut would renovate and refurbish part of the building into a nightclub. On New Year's Day in 1981, the depot underwent a name change and became First Avenue. Over 400 prominent artists would perform at First Avenue during its height in the 80s, including being the hometown venue for Prince and even being featured in his 1984 film Purple Rain, which I have never seen.
I haven't either, actually.
Prince performed, you know what song I've been watching a lot, or video I watch a lot on YouTube that I think is such a brilliant song is Raspberry Beret.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
It's such a good song.
I saw him in concert.
love the video, like when they have like the animation. There's something about that I've always loved. Mm-hmm. Prince performed 9 sold-out performances at First Avenue and was such a staple on the stage that many people in Minneapolis assumed he owned the club. While Prince was filming Purple Rain, he offered $100,000 to use the club as a prominent set piece in the movie. Many employees acted in the film as extras, and monumental scenes from the project were filmed at First Avenue. The most famous ghost story of First Avenue is of a woman waiting at the bus depot for her husband to come back from the Second World War. She had learned that he had died in combat and was distraught with the news. She went to the women's restroom and hung herself. Concert goers and employees alike report seeing the woman in the ladies' bathroom on multiple occasions. Some said that they saw her with a noose around her neck hanging from the restroom stall, while others asserted she wore a white dress covered in blood. Screaming and crying could be heard from the 5th stall in the bathroom, and employees warned against entering the restroom with the lights off, which is always a good...
Yeah, generally you wouldn't go. At work, there are motion lights in our bathrooms in the newer building, and every time I walk in, it's dark. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm like waving my hands in the air, like, turn on. There's no windows in here. I don't like darkness in general.
No.
I'm not good
There's
with dark.
always like a creepy, and this is like really random, but a creepy thing, like scenes in movies or people's stories where they're in a stall and they see somebody walk up and turn right before the stall so their feet are pointing at the stall
never
door.
Good.
No.
It's never good.
Other reports say that the woman can be seen on the dance floor during dance nights. But here's where the story gets tricky. Another report is that the girl is seen wearing green army fatigues and bell-bottoms, but those were more popular in the late 60s and early 70s. So does that mean that her boyfriend was killed in the Vietnam War?
Like at the same time? Fatigues and bell-bottoms?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
A fatigue jacket?
A jacket.
Yeah,
okay.
like a fatigue. It's a green army fatigue jacket and bell-bottoms. So people are wondering if that is true, that if her boyfriend actually died in the Vietnam War. And since the Greyhound station was already abandoned before that, what's the truth about this unusual girl? There's a YouTube video with a local paranormal radio host who went into the place with a psychic. When they got to the bathroom, she said that she saw a woman there and there was blood on her, which she could have heard reading stories. Mm-hmm. That would be unusual for a hanging. But the entire suicide story is an urban legend that can't be corroborated by any newspaper clippings. After all, it's also claimed that the woman died in the restroom from a drug overdose. However, the psychic did say that she saw this spirit pulling the hair of a nearby employee, and when they asked the employee about it, she said that she often did feel someone pulling at her hair in the building and often thought it was her imagination getting the best of her. The story of the poor girl has been going around since at least the 1980s. Some people claim to see a bloody woman in white near the bathroom. Some people claim to hear a girl crying in one of the stalls in the bathroom when there's nobody else there. Former general manager Jack Myers, who ran the club from 1980 to 2010, saw something strange in the wall and decided to crack it open in an area known as the record room, but found just 12 feet of empty space. His quote, "And there was only one thing in there, a big booth like a pew. The rumor is that's where the woman died, and they walled it in." That's weird.
Yeah.
Why did they wall it in? I was there when they knocked down that wall because we were all going, what is in there? DJs playing records in the record room in previous decades when they used to spin vinyl would talk about how the record player arm would sometimes start bouncing around on the album for no reason, and even today's digital electronic music makers have heard moans and groans in their headphone that aren't part of the music. That's creepy. Making weird noises down here. The building site was also said to have hosted a slaughterhouse before the bus depot, and sometimes people in the basement can hear the screams of the animals being killed.
No.
Yeah, but we weren't able to find any evidence that there was a slaughterhouse on the site. But that doesn't mean First Avenue only has a bathroom ghost. There's also this spirit of Slippy or Flippy, I've seen it both ways, who likes to make the sound of bar stools being put on tables and is said to make a balloon appear out of nowhere, which then floats up and down the staircase on its own. That's like Pennywise.
Slippy?
It's Slippy or Flippy.
Okay.
Employees have talked about seeing strange characters after hours who were loitering during closing, but then would vanish into midair when approached. Yep.
Okay.
So that's number 7. Number 6, the Nopming Sanatorium.
Oh, no Pemming.
Thank you. I was actually just going to say, did you know that it was featured on?
Yes.
Okay.
Project.
I figured you
Not
would.
Project Fear. It was Destination
I
Fear.
figured you would know that.
Yep.
Nopeming?
Yep.
Nopeming Sanatorium, perched on the outskirts of Duluth, Minnesota, holds a fascinating yet eerie history.
I think they're all from Minnesota.
Are they?
I think so.
The sanatorium opened in 1912 as a tuberculosis treatment center during an era when the disease ravaged the population. Its name, Nopeming, right, means out in the woods in Ojibwe, an appropriate title for this secluded facility. Throughout its operation, it housed thousands of patients suffering from tuberculosis, some finding recovery, while many just dying. Among its most notable administrators was Dr. Henry Longstreet Taylor, who oversaw much of the treatment and daily life at the sanatorium. After the cure for TB was discovered, the purpose dwindled and it finally closed its doors in 1971. Since then, it's been abandoned, but whispers of its ghosts persist. For decades, stories of paranormal encounters have been tied to the sanatorium. Many claim the building's dark history has left behind restless spirits. People visiting or investigating the property frequently report eerie experiences such as unexplained cold spots, disembodied whispers, and shadowy figures lurking in the hallways. The most famous ghost story involves a former nurse known as the Lady in White. So many ladies in white. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen the spectral figure wandering the halls, seemingly still tending to patients long after the sanatorium's closure. She is believed to be a former nurse who cared for tuberculosis patients during the sanatorium's busiest years. Multiple witnesses, both curious visitors and experienced paranormal investigators, have reported seeing her ghostly figure walking through the halls. Dressed in a pristine white uniform, she's often seen in the early morning hours, her form disappearing as quickly as it appears. Some speculate that the Lady in White is trapped between worlds, unable to leave her patients behind. Others wonder if her presence is simply a remnant of the building's sorrowful history. She represents one of the most intriguing mysteries at the sanatorium. One of the most bone-chilling areas of the sanatorium is its morgue. With hundreds of patients succumbing to TB over the years, the morgue saw a steady flow of bodies, so it's no surprise that many of the paranormal encounters there have centered around this area. Those brave enough to explore the depths often describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread near the morgue. Some claim to have seen the fleeting glimpses of ghostly figures, while others hear faint moaning sounds. Many leave the area quickly, convinced they are being watched. The old patient wards at the sanatorium are often the setting for spine-chilling experiences. The same rooms where patients once fought for their lives now serve as a backdrop for ghostly encounters. Visitors often report seeing shadows darting through the empty rooms, while people often feel the unmistakable presence of someone standing right behind them. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Several paranormal investigators have captured EVPs throughout the wards. The chilling recordings reveal faint voices calling out and even responding directly to questions. Whether it's a former patient reaching out or something darker, these experiences keep the place's haunted reputation alive. I think I remember reading that they did an investigation there. Number 5 is the Schmidt Brewery in St. Paul, Minnesota, which I believe was featured on Ghost Adventures or something. This comes from newsbreak.com. Built in 1855 under the name The Cave Brewery for its natural cave underneath, it was Minnesota's largest by 1860, producing thousands of barrels of beer. It was restructured as the St. Paul Brewing Company in 1898 and then sold to Jacob Schmidt in 1900. Though Prohibition shuttered many breweries, he kept it open by making soft drinks instead. It changed hands several times between 1954 and 1987 before stopping production. For a short time in 1991, Minnesota Brewing Company bought the space and brewed Landmark beer. The brewery shut down in 2002 to produce ethanol and finally completely closed in 2004. In 2012, Artist's Loft and a microbrew market opened on site called the Keg and Case Market, breathing new life into the long-dead brewery. The hauntings there come from workers who are said to have died in horrendous and mysterious ways. In 1896, an explosion went off, killing 2 people. In 1902, a cooper, I don't know what a cooper is, somebody that makes beer, a cooper fell to his death in an unmarked elevator shaft. The news reported that this was an accident, but I personally don't believe it. Don't know why he says that. People are rumored to hear a man shouting as if he is falling in the middle of the day. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Just 2 years later, another questionable death happened. Matthew Kohler, whose job was to light the gas lamps in the brewery, reportedly spilled kerosene on himself, setting himself on fire, inhaling the flames, and burning alive.
God.
Paranormal investigators have caught him on recording saying that his name is Matt and that he's a fireman. He is the most active haunt. Some say his ghost remains when the smell of kerosene goes wafting by. Residents that live in the lofts report unlocked doors mysteriously locking, lights flickering, and odd noises and smells in the halls and elevator. The most infamous ghost is said to be a heavy-set man in a white shirt seen peeking around corners. That always creeps me out.
Peeking around corners, yeah.
Photographers occasionally capture his head, though he vanishes when being looked upon directly. In October of 2010, a ghost tour group snapped photos everywhere. Though they saw nothing unusual, when reviewing the photos later, his figure appeared consistently lurking in the shadows and peeking around corners. Is that a nope?
Just the idea that something's watching you and doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's something creepy about that. Number 4 is the Palmer House Hotel. From the website usghostadventures.com, it says, the Palmer House Hotel's official website states that the hotel has been a Sauk Center destination since 1901. The old Sauk Center house, the town's first hotel, burned down to the ground on June 26, 1900. With the loss of the town's then favorite hotel, Ralph and Christina Palmer built the Palmer House Hotel in 1901. Locals were excited. They gossiped among themselves, stating that, quote, now at last the town can have a first-class hotel. The Palmers lived there with their children, Carlisle and Hazel, and Christina's mother and brother also worked at the hotel. It was truly a family affair. Modern for the time, the Palmer House Hotel was the first building in Sauk Center with electricity. Salesmen traveling by train routinely stopped at the hotel and used it for their business meetings alongside much-needed relaxation. The hotel soon became the cornerstone of downtown Sauk Center and was the hottest spot in town for gatherings. The hotel saw a complete makeover in 1993 in order to keep up with the times, but the hotel was kept as close as possible to its original state to honor Richard Palmer's design ideas. The owner, employees, and guests at the Palmer House Hotel have been plagued by a strange, debilitating, and demonic energy, an energy that owner Kelly Freeze believes originates in the hotel's basement. This should come as no surprise to those who are familiar with the hotel's history. The current hotel was built after the old Sauk Center house burned to the ground, consuming many lives in the blaze. There is a laundry list of bizarre happenings in the hotel, including the sounds of children playing in the upstairs hallway, dramatic temperature drops, furniture rearranging itself, and items that seem to be thrown by an invisible force.
So the hotel burnt down at one point?
Yes.
And then they rebuilt it?
The original one burned down, and they rebuilt it, and a lot of people died when it burned down. So who are the entities causing some of these strange events? One room in the hotel has been called Raymond's Room. Raymond essentially ran a top-floor brothel a century ago. Nowadays, it's believed his ghost haunts a room on the top floor. On the other side of the hotel, a children's playroom may be responsible for the juvenile haunts. Some say Palmer's son Carlisle is to blame. It's a common complaint among guests. They'll mention how great their stay was, but stated that someone let their kids play loudly in the hallway all night. A staff member reported having a conversation with a lady that looked just like Palmer's daughter Hazel before the woman simply disappeared. One guest of the Palmer House Hotel stated that, quote, "You know that these walls are trying to talk to you when you sit here. I have seen a dark shadow that paces back and forth across the doorway down in the basement." The basement is a place where lights flicker for no reason. Some researchers consider one basement hallway the most active part of the hotel. In another room, a snowman decoration has been known to dance for guests even when it's not plugged in. Most of the hotel's rooms have unexplainable events in their records. Many guests have reported seeing a children's ball bounce down the hallway. In room 11, the air in this room is always cold, so much so that some guests even complain about the air conditioning unit, even though the air conditioning unit doesn't work in the room. In room 17, guests will leave often to come back and see that the furniture has been rearranged. In room 18, people staying there complain of loud footsteps above them, only to find out that that room is vacant. As for the darker energies in the room or in the hotel, the cause remains a mystery.
That is one active hotel.
Yeah, I would say. I love histories of hotels.
When you just think of the amount of energy that has passed through a hotel.
Yep.
Different people with different lives.
Especially one that goes back to the 1900s and stuff. Haunted area number 3 is Gray Cloud Island. This comes from hauntedrooms.com and ahauntedroom.com. Gray Cloud Island is located in Washington County, Minnesota. It is a very small area with an equally small local population. History buffs, it's not actually an island. If you look, it's like an island, but it's connected to part of the land.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. History buffs find the site a fascinating place to visit because no matter how hard people tried to turn the island into a thriving community, most people had no interest in living or working on the island. Another reason why so many people venture to the island with an estimated population of 300 is because all of the stories of paranormal activities and ghost sightings. There's also a very strong connection to Native American history at the location due to the number of Native Americans buried on the island, as well as the fact that it had been an early Native American settlement. For many believers in the paranormal and ghosts, Gray Cloud Island is one of the most haunted places in Minnesota. A tribe of Dakota Sioux lived in the area around the late 1700s or early 1800s. It is from this tribe that the island eventually got its name. According to reports, the chief of the Dakota Sioux had a daughter who was named Gray Cloud Woman. This was the first Gray Cloud Woman, and she went on to marry James Ard, a fur trader. They went on to have a daughter named Margaret, who was known as Gray Cloud Woman II. A man by the name of Hazen Moores went on to marry Margaret, or the second Gray Cloud Woman. It was this Gray Cloud Woman for which the island got its name. The reports of ghostly sightings and paranormal activity are so extensive at Gray Cloud Island that it's difficult to determine what is an urban legend and what is fact. With so many stories and reports, it's considered one of the most haunted places in Minnesota, if not the country. One of the most popular reports of paranormal activity is that of the Green Lantern. I don't think the superhero, but I think just the Green Lantern. Based on different stories, there are those who say a former Indian chief wanders around the cemetery carrying a green lantern. Others report that he just simply wanders around the cemetery. Further stories claim that the green lantern is not carried by anyone. The unusual green light simply appears to move through the cemetery grounds, the woods, and along local roads, kind of like the Paulding lights almost.
Mm-hmm. It's also just like a typical urban legend, where it changes a lot.
Some people have claimed to see the greenish light in the form of an orb or a cloud. Other people say they've seen regular orbs around the cemetery and surrounding area. There are also a number of reports that Gray Cloud Woman II has been seen wandering around the island despite the fact that she's buried on the Sioux Reservation with her mother. Since the area has a great many Native American burial mounds, there are those that claim the activity on the island is related to the spirits of the deceased. On nights with a full moon, people have stated that they hear the sound of drums beating. Hearing the howling of coyotes at night or their barking is also something many people swear to have heard on the island. People who have visited the island also claim that the air is very heavy and thick, making it hard to breathe. A rather unusual bit of activity that numerous people have claimed to experience is that of a white truck that appears to chase people on the island. Some say the truck appears and vanishes without a trace, while others claim that the truck has no driver. Those who have encountered the truck are adamant that they are not making it up. There are other reports of ghostly apparitions on a motorcycle that follow people and vanishes into thin air. Some people dispute the story of the pickup truck and the motorcycle, saying that they're just locals who are chasing off nosy trespassers, which makes sense.
Or it's something straight out of a Stephen King novel.
Or a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yeah.
When it comes to a lot of the paranormal activity...
Phantom white truck.
Yep. When it comes to a lot of the paranormal activity reported, there's a lot of connection to the Gray Cloud Cemetery or their tombstones in general. There is one report that within the cemetery, there are a row of 12 tombstones that belong to a group of nuns. People claim you can walk past and count 12 tombstones, but then when you turn around and recount, the number will not equal 12 again. That's weird. One group of people interested in this haunted claim went to the cemetery. A mother who had taken her son was in that group. The mother stated that while she watched her son counting the headstones, there was a ghostly figure of a young boy following behind her son. They immediately left the cemetery in a panic, as I would too. Mm-hmm. There are reports that people can hear disembodied voices in the cemetery, while other people claim to hear the horrified screams of a woman. Other reports from paranormal enthusiasts claim to have seen a man wearing a red flannel jacket and an orange hat while smoking and carrying a rifle. The sight would have not caused any issues with the people, except they said the man is translucent. One woman who saw the man in the red flannel jacket stated that although he never uttered a word to her, he stared right at her, causing her such uneasiness she left the area immediately. According to her reports, the man reappeared right behind her in the road, and shortly after, she kept seeing him in her back seat while looking in her rearview mirror. One small group of friends who went to see if they could see the man in the red flannel never saw him, but when leaving the island, they heard the sound of a young girl whispering from the side of the road saying, quote, "Don't come back," but there was no one in sight. Pretty creepy. Mm-hmm. There are many accounts of people driving past the cemetery or around the island, and there is an overall feeling of uneasiness and fear that creeps into them. Some people have reported that they have driven onto the island and gone out to the cemetery in their car, but then their car loses all power. Terrified due to the sound of a woman screaming and overall creepiness, the owner of the vehicle manages to get out and gets it pushed out of the gate. As soon as the vehicle was on the other side of the cemetery gates, the car immediately started up, radio blaring and lights on. Countless haunted stories continue to be told about Gray Cloud Island. Locals would prefer people simply did not visit the island, as they claim there is no unusual activity there ever. Other ghost hunters claim that there is plenty of unusual activity, from orbs to screams to odd feelings to sightings of a ghostly woman who seems to be mourning the loss of her baby. Legends also include the mysterious spirit tree, once considered a bridge between the physical and spiritual world. Though the tree itself no longer stands there, some people who visit the island claim to feel its presence and the wisdom it once imparted. Visitors also report hearing whispers from the Whispering Rocks, a phenomenon some attribute to spirits communicating ancient secrets. These tales add a thrilling layer to the island's allure, attracting ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts from around the country. Number 2, and this is the place that I think you'll want to visit that we've already talked about, Anoka. Mm-hmm. Or Anoka? Anoka. Thank you. I'm glad you remembered. This is a place that I think you will want to visit. I don't remember where this came from. I think adventuresintheus.com. Article says, quote, No city in the country or the world does Halloween quite like Anoka, Minnesota. For almost a century, residents of the small Minnesota town located about 20 miles northeast of Minneapolis have been holding a community-wide celebration in honor of October 31st, eventually earning the town of 18,000 people the title, quote, Halloween capital of the world.
I feel like I've seen stuff on TV about this.
Like, I think you would love to go there once you...
All the businesses change their signs.
Yep. It all began on November 1st, 1919, the day after Halloween, when Anoka residents woke up to pranks of epic proportions at the hands of some of the local youth. As the sun rose, community members were greeted by their wagons parked on rooftops, overturned outhouses, and cows roaming freely throughout downtown and inside the halls of the county jail. To prevent a similar debacle from happening the following year, civic leaders banded together to create a Halloween celebration that would not only prove entertaining for people of all ages, but would also curb any attempts at future hijinks.
Clever.
John Yost, who serves as chair of the celebration's 100th anniversary, which will occur in 2020, says, quote, "It had to stop. That was the purpose of the celebration, to divert pranksters and to keep them busy." Fortunately, the plan worked, and every year since 1920, except for 1942 and 43 due to World War II, Anoka has been holding Halloween festivities that include a parade, loads of treats, and animal tricks. These days, the annual event has increased into a month-long celebration that draws Halloween lovers from around Minnesota, the United States, and even around the world, turning the population to 60,000 people throughout October.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Most people hear about the celebration by word of mouth. These days, the Halloween celebration includes 3 parades, including the nighttime Light Up the Night Parade, showcasing illuminated parade balloons that travel down Main Street, followed by the Grand Day Parade, a 3-hour spectacle that weaves throughout the town. Other events include a pumpkin carving contest, a bonfire, a house decorating contest, trick-or-treating, a carnival. It sounds like...
Sounds amazing.
It sounds like Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah, yep. A carnival and a pumpkin smashing event to compost all those used pumpkins. But even when Halloween isn't in full swing, the other 11 months out of the year in the town of Anoka still make it clear that it is the Halloween capital of the world, with a traffic roundabout painted like a giant jack-o'-lantern and a gift shop with a museum that's open year-round dedicated to sharing the history of how this town earned its moniker.
That sounds awesome.
From spooky attractions to family-friendly events, it has something for everyone during the Halloween season. Here are some of the top ways to immerse yourself in the town's Halloween festivities. The highlight of the Halloween season is the Grand Day Parade. It's a must-see. It's the largest parade in town, featuring floats, costume characters, marching bands, and more. Anoka Haunted House. For those who crave a good scare, the haunted house delivers with eerie rooms, creepy characters, and plenty of jump scares, which I do not like.
Nah.
I'm going to skip that.
Yeah,
It's a
I'll
thrilling
skip that
experience for all those who dare to enter. Pumpkin Night in the Park. It sounds so much like
Stars Hollow.
Stars Hollow. Pumpkin Night in the Park. This family-friendly event features hundreds of carved pumpkins on display, along with food vendors, entertainment, and activities for kids.
Sounds fun.
House decorating contest. Anoka residents take Halloween decorating seriously, and the annual house decorating contest is a testament to their creativity. And you could also take the Ghost of Anoka walking tour, exploring the haunted history of the town. Led by knowledgeable guides, you'll hear tales of ghostly encounters and mysterious happenings as you visit some of the town's most haunted sites. It's a perfect town to celebrate Halloween because much of the town itself is haunted. Right near Anoka High School is the scariest, most haunted place of them all, the abandoned Anoka State Hospital, also known as the Anoka Asylum. A cluster of buildings along the Rum River opened as an asylum for the mentally ill in 1900. This was the first asylum in the state of Minnesota, and it stayed open for 99 years, finally closing its doors in 1999. Upon opening in 1900, the asylum housed 100 male patients. Female patients would be added just a few years later, and the population grew exponentially in the early 1900s. By mid-century, the hospital housed over 1,000 patients. Dang, that's a lot.
That's usually where it goes south.
As you can guess, patients at the hospital were not treated well. The hospital was instrumental in developing electroshock therapy, which was a torturous practice. Lobotomies were often performed on the grounds and often botched, killing patients rather than curing them. Torture-like devices and restraints can reportedly still be found on the grounds. For patients who passed away while being housed in the insane asylum, they did not receive death with dignity either. The state hospital dug holes to place the bodies of deceased residents and simply marked them with a number. Many years later, a devoted few researched each patient were able to finally give them a name and a headstone. While most of the grounds are abandoned or off limits, the cemetery can still be visited. Every building on the Anoka State Hospital campus was connected by a series of underground tunnels. Oftentimes, when patients would attempt to escape the asylum, they would get lost in the tunnels, and some ended up killing themselves getting lost. There are remnants of scratches on a lot of the underground concrete walls. That's creepy. Yeah. From the Care 11 News website, it says, quote, "The haunted reputation of the former Anoka State Hospital is known throughout the state. From apparitions appearing in the windows to an eerie feeling in the halls, both workers and visitors have reported what they believe to be paranormal encounters." Ross Beard, head of Anoka Paranormal Investigations, says, quote, "All of your typical hauntings and things that people are scared of are here at all times." But he has heard plenty of stories from people in the community. One of the things that people always say is that they have the feeling that, quote, "I shouldn't be in here." A lot of workers have experiences over the years that say that they see apparitions, they hear shadow people, they hear whispering from people that aren't there. So a lot of people say that it's haunted, but I don't think you can still get in there. I think it's closed to like people.
It said it was just the cemetery that's still open.
Another haunted place in Anoka is Billy's Bar and Grill. It's housed in a building that was a former brothel. We used to have a lot of brothels back in the day. The restaurant is said to be home to the spirits of some of the former brothel's staff. As local legends go, some brothel patrons killed Madam Miss Jackson and stole the woman's money, and that she hung herself from a third-floor chandelier after losing the hotel. Witnesses say that they have seen pictures move by themselves, and apparitions have been seen upstairs. Someone left a comment that said, quote, "This was about 14 years ago. My future wife and I were drinking with friends at the bar. We were chilling up on the rooftop patio, talking, smoking, and such. I wandered away from the group and looked across the street. There was a very beautiful woman looking at me from across the street on one of the third-story windows. I nodded to her, and she gave me a wave. I was really impressed with how she was dressed, very old-style, early 1900s. I went to point her out to my group, but then she was gone, and the light in the room was turned out. So I went and started to tell them what I just saw. An elderly gentleman who had lived in town all his life walked up to me and said, quote, 'I think you've just seen the lady.' And he proceeded to tell me the history of the place. My group was a little freaked out, but I was exhilarated that I might have just seen a ghost, and she waved at me." So I think you would like Anoka.
Yeah, I think so.
So number 1 on the list is Glen Sheen Mansion. This comes from hauntedus.com and discoverwalks.com. In 1892, the Congdon family moved to Duluth, Minnesota. Chester Congdon and his wife Clara had already found considerable success in life. Chester had spent years as an attorney and remained well off despite some money-losing investments in the late 1800s. The Congdons moved to Minnesota for Chester's new job as a lawyer for the Oliver Iron Mining Company. The company flourished and made them even more wealthy. Once he opened his own iron company in 1901, the family's fortune grew even more. In 1903, Chester and Clara bought a stretch of property on Lake Superior shoreline just a few miles from downtown Duluth. The couple hoped to bring an expansive family mansion to life on the lakeshore. Construction started in 1905 and went on for 3 years until work on the Glen Sheen Mansion finished in 1908. The mansion took its name from 2 different sources. The first half, Glen, was taken from a Scottish word for ravine. The second half, Sheen, is believed to reference the Congdons' ancestral home in England called Sheen. Chester and Clara lived the rest of their lives at Glen Sheen, growing their family along the way. Chester died in 1916, while Clara managed the home for 3 more decades. After Clara died in 1950, ownership fell to the Congdon children. One of the couple's younger daughters, Elizabeth, took over the direct management of the massive estate after Clara's death. Elizabeth lived in and cared for Glen Sheen Mansion until the 1970s, but in 1977, lethal trouble paid a visit to the Congdons' Minnesota manor. One of Elizabeth Congdon's adopted daughters, Marjorie, spent much of her life living lavishly and burning through money. After Elizabeth suffered a stroke in the mid-70s, she could no longer fund her daughter's lifestyle. It is believed that Marjorie, hoping for a large inheritance, hatched a plot with her husband Roger Caldwell to kill Elizabeth. On June 27th, 1977, Roger made his way to Duluth, waited until nightfall, and broke into Glen Sheen. He went ahead to start his mission by killing the nurse. She was found dead in a pool of blood on the stairwell landing after being struck repeatedly over the head with an 8-inch brass candlestick, which I thought only happened in the Clue board game. She had served as Miss Congdon's regular nurse until she had retired at age 65. She was asked to cover that night for a nurse who wanted off, and so she wouldn't have been there if she,
Gosh, yeah.
After killing the nurse, the attacker went upstairs and smothered 83-year-old Elizabeth with a satin pillow.
I love the detail that it was a satin pillow.
I mean, if you're going to go, at least a satin
Go out
pillow.
in style.
Go out in style. In 1979, while first considering it a botched robbery, local authorities soon uncovered Marjorie's financial troubles and looked into her and Roger. The couple's story fell apart, and Roger was convicted of Elizabeth's murder, and Marjorie was acquitted. I don't know how she got acquitted. In the aftermath of Elizabeth's murder, the Congdons' hold on Glen Sheen Mansion fell away. The home had previously been donated to the University of Minnesota for their use after Elizabeth's death. So upon her murder, the college took control of the mansion, opening it to the public in 1979. Many of Glen Sheen Mansion's paranormal claims stem from the 1977 double homicide. Elizabeth Congdon and her at-home nurse are said to still linger in the mansion in spirit. The nurse's haunting is most often noted as a cold spot on the staircase landing where her body was found all those years ago, and many visitors have reported seeing the nurse's shadowy form walking through the home's long halls. Elizabeth's spirit is commonly encountered in a few different areas of the mansion. One of her hot spots is her old bedroom where she was murdered. Visitors report intense, overwhelming feelings while touring that room. Witnesses describe the feeling as an unexplainable wash of sadness, one that just leaves them as soon as they step out of the room. More than just sudden feelings of unease, Elizabeth's ghost sometimes manifests in a white mist. This mist is regularly reported in the home's library. So many noises down here.
I wish I knew what that was.
Probably something crawling out of that weird crawl space.
No. Some kind of mechanical. I just don't know what.
Yeah,
that refrigerator maybe.
The mist is regularly reported in the home's library, said to be one of Elizabeth's favorite rooms in the house. Her manifestation can be seen lingering through the library stacks as if she's looking for a good book to spend her day reading. The specters of Elizabeth and the nurse are not often encountered in the same place or at the same time, but there are a few possible exceptions. One common report is the sighting of two women in certain windows from outside. The ghostly frames of Elizabeth and the nurse will purportedly stand close together, keeping a close eye on tourists as they navigate the grounds. That's kind of creepy. The duo of spirits might be responsible for some other conjured up feelings and washes of emotion. While the areas of each murder in the mansion are known for feelings of sadness or panic, many other spaces are noted for their oddly positive vibes. Some chalk these up to the positivity of Elizabeth and her nurse. The spirits seem to do what they can to keep the home's family atmosphere alive rather than simply linger aimlessly around their crime scenes. Some paranormal reports at Glen Sheen Mansion have people wondering if there are more than just the two ghosts haunting the house. Many of the mansion's ghost stories do seem to stem from Elizabeth and the nurse's unfortunate tales, but others claim that there are other spirits there. Small objects around the house are infamous for moving around the mansion with no known cause. Lights seem to flicker at strange times, although no electrical problems have yet been found. Down in the basement, tourists frequently note encounters with a mysterious black masked figure in the hallway. Another manifestation of Elizabeth or the nurse, or could this be another Congdon family phantom member checking in on the house? With the popularity of the regularly scheduled tours, it's not often you'll find many extra tour offerings, because most workers and volunteers are tight-lipped about the property's supposed hauntings. But you don't have to wait for a full night of ghost hunting to encounter something strange at Glen Sheen. Plenty of ghost stories from the house come from daytime tourists who spotted a shadow figure, heard someone whispering, or ran face first into a cold spot during their tours. I would love to check that place out. So there you go. There are some haunted places around Minnesota. There's a lot of them.
I think partly why I like strange states is because you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you get the haunted sanatoriums, you get the cryptids, you get the haunted breweries, you get a little bit of everything. So I think you would like the Halloween place.
Heck yeah.
I really think you would like that. Oh, so are you ready for trivia?
I am.
So what do you think about Minnesota hauntings?
I want to visit Minnesota. I mean, I've been there.
It's so close.
But I've never gone to like Minneapolis or anything like that.
I was there twice. Once for the 1996 Mystery Science Theater convention, and another time when I was dating Cindy, we went there. And like I said, I think I've talked about this on there. I will always love this, that Kevin Murphy, who did the voice of Tom Servo, the cute little red robot that looks like a gumball machine, we were waiting to take a tour again of the Best Brain Studio, which is where they did Mystery Science Theater. And we're waiting, and it was like a 1:00 tour, and we're sitting on the parking lot when the whole cast came back from lunch. And they all, we're yelling to them, and they all waving to us, and they walked in the building. But then Kevin turned around, and he came over and sat with us for like 15 minutes just talking, which was so cool because he didn't have to do that. But it was just so fun. Like I said, we did the tour, and we went in the storeroom where they kept all their props and stuff. And we walk in there, and the cast is in there playing baseball with like a cardboard tube that you would put like gift paper in and like a wadded up piece of paper, and they're just playing baseball in there, and it was so fun.
Is that where the Mayo Clinic is?
No, I think the Mayo Clinic's in New York.
No, there's multiple Mayo Clinics.
Is there one in Minnesota?
I think it must be Minnesota. Yeah, because I've been there.
Yeah.
So I've been to the Mayo Clinic at Minnesota.
But that's when I remember during the convention.
It was just the time that
we did we took the Skyways a lot.
Yeah. And then I went to the Big Woo family reunion twice, which was like a camping thing with lots of bands.
Yeah.
I did that
and
twice.
That's where we went. One of the times we did the tour, I drove there with my friend Becky, and that's when they had a festival downtown where a lot of the roads were closed for like a music festival. And that's when I got to meet Soul Asylum, which was cool because they were playing who else was there? Like a Diamond Rio, a country band was there.
I know who that is. 90s country.
Yeah. What's his name? The Replacements have a song about him. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. The Replacements have a song by him.
I feel like this is a trivia question.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look this up. Replacements songs. I love the Replacements. I was actually going to do a trivia question about them, but I didn't.
We're pretty much at an hour and a half now.
So we're just about done, so this should be perfect. Oh my God. Alex Chilton. That's who I'm trying to think of. Alex Chilton.
Don't know who that is.
Like a well-known singer-songwriter. He was in Big Star, the band, but we got to see him, which was really cool.
Rochester, Minnesota. That's where the Mayo Clinic is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I need to go to St. Cloud, Minnesota, because that's where KVSC is that does the trivia contest, and I have so much merchandise from there, but I've never been there, and I would love to visit St. Cloud University. So trivia questions. Number 37. I'm not going to say anything. If you know me, you'll know where this is from. Trivia question number 37. In a 1996 episode guide for this Minnesota-born show, the wisecracking cast can be seen on the cover. For 10 strange points, according to the characters on the cover, what two strange session-y type topics can be found inside the book? My copy of book is signed by the cast and writers. This shouldn't be hard after some of the stuff said in this episode.
Okay.
In a 1996 episode guide for this Minnesota-born show, the wisecracking cast can be seen on the cover. For 10 strange points, according to the characters on the cover, what two strange session-y topics can be found inside the book? My copy of the book is signed by the cast and writers. What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
We've talked about it.
On this episode?
Yes.
Wow.
Within the last 15 minutes. Anyway.
They'll tell me afterwards, and I'll be like, duh.
Yep. Trivia question number 38. If you were in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Oh, never mind. You literally just talked about it. Okay.
We're just giving them that one as a freebie.
I'm thinking like a sitcom.
No.
Okay.
Wisecracking characters, episode guide on the cover. Question number 38. If you were in Bloomington, Minnesota on Labor Day 1995, you could have been there for the grand opening of this ill-fated business venture. For 10 strange points, according to the grand opening menu, where was the business located? Be specific. Again, question 38. If you were in Bloomington, Minnesota on Labor Day 1995, you could have been there for the grand opening of this ill-fated business venture. For 10 strange points, according to the grand opening menu, where was the business located? Be specific. Question number 39. For 5 strange points, what fictional Minnesota town has a population of 48 during the summer rush? Again, question 39, for 5 strange points, what fictional Minnesota town has a population of 48 during its summer rush? And the strange stumper, question number 40. In March of 1970, a Minnesotan woman headed out for a day of shopping. Leaving Dayton's department store, the woman unwittingly witnessed an event and would soon be seen weekly all across America for the next 7 years and can still be seen daily around the world today. For 5 strange points, give me the woman's name and the year she finally met the eponymous star. Eponymous, Eponymous. Again, in March of 1970, a Minnesotan woman headed out for a day of shopping. Leaving Dayton's department store, the woman unwittingly witnessed an event and would soon be seen weekly all across America for the next 7 years and can still be seen daily around the world today. For 5 strange points, give me the woman's name and the year she finally met the eponymous star.
Okay.
Those are your trivia questions for today. We got anything else other than deets?
Nope.
Nothing else? Mm-hmm. You guys aren't going up north today?
Nope.
No.
Home all weekend. We had yesterday off, so
yeah,
nice
today,
4-day weekend.
I'm going to stop at Walmart on the way home because I love that Walmart now that I don't run into anybody I know. And then I think I'm going to clean my apartment, hopefully. I got a couple groceries I got to buy. Tomorrow I'm going down by Aaron. Going to hang out with Aaron. Going to do some geocaching. Going to stop at Eaton's Pizza, pick up some more frozen pizza from there because it's my favorite pizza.
He's probably going to paint. That's what we're doing.
That's not fun.
I'm looking forward to bright walls, though.
Yeah. I was
this
supposed
house
to.
Is very beige.
I was actually supposed to have a 3-day weekend, but I volunteered to go in Monday because I had, and it's sad.
Do you get extra pay on a holiday?
Yes.
Good.
But it's sad that what day was I off this week? I was off, I think, Tuesday. And it was just like a beautiful day outside, and I had nothing to do, and I was just thinking, I kind of wish I was at work today. Like I need
something.
I need something to
Purpose,
do.
Yeah.
So it's like Monday, I have nothing going on, and I love my job. I love the residents, so it's like, why not go in and work?
Yeah.
You know, but like that because I'm going to be working in a certain wing that day. It's an easy 25,000 steps. So I'm just so tuckered out all the time, but I love that job. I just absolutely love the residents.
That's awesome.
So that's my plans. Tomorrow I'll go past, when on my way down to Aaron, I'll go past the old school where we used to record. Maybe pop in there if I have to go to the bathroom. See if there's any cadets there that want to see my ID, want to know what I'm doing there.
It's so weird that you still go. I would never go there. If I were driving through, I would never go in there.
I do if I have to.
I would feel like I was trespassing, actually, because we have no reason to be there
We
anymore.
did have reason to be there, we have the code. So
I mean, I'm
it's
not saying
like,
you shouldn't. That's me.
But no, if I have to pee, I stop in there and use the bathroom. But as soon as I walk in, there's that smell. And it's not a bad smell.
In the
It's just,
kitchen.
in the kitchen. It's just like, wow. It brings me back to when we first started recording there. And remember, we used to drive so far to go there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of wanted to keep recording there, but I'm so glad we stopped.
I was over it. I was so over it.
Yep. And it's weird not driving down to Sheboygan now.
And recording there in the winter and going to the bathroom, and it was always freezing in the bathrooms. Like, ugh.
Yep. So that's my plans.
No, I'll take this.
So Krista said that we're going to probably keep the Strange Cellar 1.5 maybe until next season.
Yeah,
we'll have the proper.
I mean, maybe we'll get to it. We just, it's not. We want to get the upstairs, our renovations first. Going upstairs. I mean, we're definitely going to move it to the other room. But
I love hearing that when I pull up, Lucy comes running out. And she's all excited.
I love that I don't have to worry about her running out into the street.
Yeah,
it's so freaking far away.
Far back. Yeah. No, I'm excited to come here with Corey because I want Corey to see the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll jump into deets because now we're starting to ramble.
Oh yeah.
So you can email us at the strange. Oh shoot, we had a story that I missed that I was going to do this episode and I totally forgot. So person whose story I forgot, we will get to it next episode. Next episode I think is going to be a stranger's suggestions or listener suggestions episode because somebody mentioned a dead internet theory, and I don't know too much about that.
Neither
so I'm looking at. I got a couple other ones that people have suggested over the years. And again, you said that's what would be nice for a small bite-sized episode is just doing one listener suggestion. So maybe let us know what you guys think of that. You can email us at the strange session. You can email us at thestrangesessions@gmail.com. We are on Instagram at thestrangesessions, where Krista does a great job. Love you, Instagram listeners. You can send snail mail. We haven't gotten any snail mail lately to The Strange Sessions, P.O. Box 434, Manitowoc, Wisconsin 54221-0434. You can call our lonely phone line at 920-443-9602, or you can text that number because I recently got a notice that we haven't had a call lately, so it was going to get deleted. So I had to send a text message to that number and then go to that number and send a text message back to me in order to keep it active. Yeah. So you can always text us too at 920-443-9602 if you would like. And you can send listener stories to thestrangesessionstories@gmail.com. We talked and said that we think our Christmas episode is going to be another send us any questions, and we won't see them before time, and Corey will ask them. So if you got questions you want to ask us, start thinking about those. You can already send those. I'll have to give you the address for that because I don't have the address for that one, but that's the one that Corey has access to.
Yes.
That Corey can see what you guys send in. So I think that's it for this episode.
Okay.
What time is it?
We're probably at an hour 40.
Okay, that's good. It's not even 9 o'clock yet.
We usually try to wrap up at 8:30, so we are over time, though.
Oh, we are over time. Oh, Lucy's letting us know.
Guys.
She just parked. She's like, coming up. So thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys. Anything else you want to say to our listeners?
Nope.
Nothing?
We love you, and
we love you, and we would give you hugs, one and all, if we could.
That'd be a lot of hugs.
That'd be a lot of hugs, but I'm okay with that, especially now that it's cooler out and I'm not as sweaty. So from Krista and I in the Strange Cellar 1.5, until next time, stay strange.